the family are present. The family members are resetting themselves that Baldwin was very honest. So far as his official work is concerned, he was very actually updated so far as the job section or job sector was performed. So what we feel that the first section gives certain type of authentic data by which we are presumed to analysis his character also in section 2. In section 1, you have been introduced to Robert Baldwin in his absence. And what was the presumption, what was the situation getting on with when he was absent? What do you expect to see of him in section 2? What type of performance was going on in section 2? John followed us. Baldwin coming in, followed by Martha. How are you, my boy? He shakes hand with John. He shakes hand with John. That means one type of actually cordial environment was going on. Basically, father and son ଭିତରେ କିଛି ନା କିଛି cordiality relationship ରହିଛି. Baldwin, how are you, my boy? And he shakes hand with John. If he kissed her, Martha, you are sure your shoes are not wet, Robert? That means you are sure. It is one type of question tag. You are sure. Vanessa, aren't you? Try to understand the tag questions. These are also very essential so far as your MCQ pattern is concerned. MCQ pattern एगुड़ाक बोधे reset करा जाउछि. Robert asked Baldwin, shaking his head. I took the car, not a drop on me. I took the car. I was not coming on a two-wheeler or bike. I was coming in a four-wheeler, and from which not a drop of water could snatch me. He presses his hands over his lips. He goes to a chair, sits. There is an outpost. At least thereafter, certain type of environment was there, something exclamatory. John, well, Dad, don't you think it is about time you told us something? That you are delivering something to us, you are analyzing something to us? Baldwin told you something. I don't understand, John. I am not getting, John. I am not understanding, John. Baldwin told you something. I don't understand, John. John, people have been talking about you, saying certain things, certain inclinations. Baldwin, what kind of a thing, John? John, you can imagine rotten things. Rotten things means worthless things. Rotten things, and I could not contradict them. I could not contradict. Contradict means oppose them. Baldwin, why not, John? John, because I did not know. I have no idea. Baldwin, did you have to know? Wasn't it enough that you knew your father? That means, have you no confirmation about your father's character or nature? Whether you have gone through certain type of mistaken elements. So, Baldwin, why not John? John, because I did not know. I don't know the situation. Baldwin, did you have to know? Was it not enough? You knew your father. John, I beg your pardon, sir. So, Baldwin, it was 2 days before smash up that I found out what Grayson was doing. I told him he would have to make good. He said he could not. So, what type of actually situation going on? There is certain type of heinous activities in the bank. Bank रे किसी ना किसी crime activities चलीची. एवं जो crime activities रू Grayson non-involvement हवा पाई Baldwin को देता को परामर्श देई चंदी. एवं से कही चंदी I could not actually change my attitude. I could not actually change my sustaining lifestyle intently. There. And what happened, Baldwin? I told him he would have to do the best he could. And the first step would be to close the bank. He did not want to do that. What was my advice relating to? The advice was not fulfilled. I advised him to close the bank, but he could not. And what the situation? Now the crime is upon him. The crime is accepted on him. Martha, what he did it. Well then I made him do it. He was angry, very angry. But I had the weak hand. What is the meaning of weak hand? Weak hand means control. Big hand. ମୁଁ ଚାହିଁଲେ ନିୟନ୍ତ୍ରଣ କରିପାରିବି କାରଣ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଏସେନ୍ସିଆଲ ଡକ୍ୟୁମେଣ୍ଟ ବା ଏଭିଡେନ୍ସ ରହିଛି ଯୋଉଟାକୁ ବେସ୍ କରି ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରାଇ ଦେଇପାରେ. If the papers did not mention that, I did not think it was necessary to tell them. Necessary Martha, but you let your name rest under a cloud meanwhile. Okay, that means you must have to pass such time of actually dangerous activities. वर्तमान मान गोटे हेरेटिक सिचुएशन चली छी वर्तमान हेक्टिक वे ऑफ लाइफ चली छी रिलेटिंग टू द बैंकिंग सेक्टर रिलेटिंग टू जॉब सेक्टर एवं एक क्लाउड जेफम तो उतार गोटे बदनाम रो छाया चली छी गोटे क्राइम एक्टिविटी रो छाया चली छी गोटे चली छी कोन की सर्च ऑपरेशन चली छी यू मस्ट हैव टू स्टे अपार्ट but then it will be clear tomorrow what it that it will थिबो त्या क्वेश्चन रे बंद हे जिवो bond. It will be clear soon. What is today? Friends have set for me. The trial begins in 24 hours. Today, the Sam sent for me. And the trial begins in 24 hours. I am the only witness against him. Against the journalist, the sakhi achi, witness achi, evidence dabo, proof dabo. Against him, he asked, you can guess what? तेणु तुम्हें सन आउट ऑफ दी जण जाको एनालिटिकली बा एम्फैटिकली बुझी पारुथिबो जे प्रकृति रे मु का अगेंस्ट रे कोन बा डिसीजन दे परिबी ता फॉरवर्ड देबी ना ता अगेंस्ट रे देबी सिंस आई एम ऑनेस्ट सिंस आई एम ए डिसिप्लिनरियन आई मस्ट हैव टू डिस्प्ले इट परफेक्टली John he wanted you to lie to save his skin wanted you to preserve yourself. Preserve yourself in the sense, preserve means promise. तुम्हें promise करो, तुम्हें कौन निजी को निजे ठीक सटीक भावरे आर व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ फुलफिलमेंट करे जी पारिबो जोटा तमे जानि जे ट्रायल रे तम ऊपर डिसीजन का डिपेंड करू छी तुमे कोन एविडेंस ले ताको कोन करिबो शो करे जी पारिबो सो करिबो what would not be necessary to he just wanted me to have an attack of your money. तो गरीब लोक माने लेकरी बैंक रे टंका रखुथिले ताकु से कोन कर जे मिस अप्रोप्रिएशन कर जे मिस यूटिलाइज करि छी if I tell all I knew John Gresham will go to no power on earth can save him from it कौन सी पावर ताको अर्थ रक्षा करि परिबानी कारण he is the culprit and law has high hands तो आईन रो हाथ निश्चित रूप ताको कोन करिवो ना चेष्टा करिवो एवं आईन रो ऊर्ध्वे से केबे हेला नाही but he wants me to forget a little just essential things when they question me I can answer I don't remember they can prove I do remember and there you are that means it is proved to be it is proven to be it is considered to be what is the mistake must be taken into consideration and the mistaker or the misappropriator of money must be punished according to adjudication. John, it would be a long touch. While smiling, of course, it is done every day, and they could not touch me any more than they could convict me. ताकि दोषी साबित तो परिवेश okay, trust परिवार trust दायक को मारता. Quivering with indignation. What is the meaning of quivering? Quivering means shivering. इंडिग्नेशन इन द सेंस विरक्ति भाव लोक जतर अधिक आडे विरक्ति होवा से तार टिक हेजिटेशन आसे कोन से प्रकार परफेक्शन आसे सेतबे से कॉम्प्लेन आटे के विरक्ति भाव बा इरिटेटिंग दिखे देखै जेता मन रे हाउ डेयर ही कैन हाउ डेयर he asked such a thing if what did you say father pardon well son what would you have said तुम्हें जोड़ा दिला तुमको John I would have told him to go to the devil, but then I did. मुझे कही देई John, only for you that Martha, I knew. That means it is well convinced to me. एटा तुम ପାଇଁ होची पुरा गोपालिया काम तुमे आ बाबदरे किछि सब्जेक्टिंग करि परिबनी कोन से व्यू पॉइंट देई परिबनी बट माथा कहउछ रे आई न्यू but then I did not use your words John is a too old a friend of mine for that is a friend to me since long but I did not means matters any he understood what I mean जानी परले प्रॉब्लम कौन If and what did he say then? After Berlin, there was not much to say. You see, he was not surprised. He is known me for 35 years. Se 35 वर्ष हबो मो से ताकर संपर्क well anybody who is known me for 35 years does not expect me to haggle with my conscience. Baldwin कहउछन्ते don't try to haggle with my conscience haggle means argue मो conscience मा बुद्धि विवेक सहित तमे केबे युक्ति तर्क करनी argue करनी debate करनी if it had been anybody else than John Gresham I would have struck him across the face मो में कोई बात नहीं but John Gresham and I were boys together he worked side by side and I have been in his employ ever since he started in for himself he is desperate he does not know what he is doing or he would not have offered me money John सब कहूची offer money dad से तुमको टका offer करथिले चाहथिले किछि दवा पई वर्ल्ड he had put it aside, ready for emergency. If they do not convict him, he will hand it over to me. The law can't stop. But if I leave until tomorrow night, they will convict him. God knows I want to share in bringing about his punishment. Yes. Pats his hand silently. Young man and old man, I have worked with him. Or for him, the best part of my life. I am loyal to him. I have always been loyal to him. But when John Gresham suggests to be an honest man, John Gresham and I part company. Listen. Gresham वर्तमान कौन करछन्ते किछि पैसा ऑफर करछन्ते को बाइडिंग तमे तमरो कॉलिंग केछ मु जो प्रकार करिछि एक्चुअली क्राइम करिछि सपन टाइप ऑफ कल्प्रेटिंग इश्यूज पर इन्वॉल्व अछि तमे मो अगेंस्ट रे केबे हेले कोन करिवो साथी दोकानी तमे जदि साथी देबो मु फसी जे आई विल बी कंसीडर टू बी द कल्प्रिट दोषी साब्यस्त हेबी तमे तमे केछि पैसा नै मो घर रे कोन करिवो ना तुमरो व्यू पॉइंट का विटनेस का दबो साक्ष्य दबो यू मस्ट हैव टू प्रोवाइड योर एविडेंस किंतु से जगह रे कोन होई जे ना बाल्डिन मना कर जे जंती स्टेट फॉरवर्ड आई विल नॉट टेक एनी टाइप ऑफ ऑफर आई विल नॉट टेक एनी टाइप ऑफ ड्राइव फ्रॉम सो Martha, Robert, weeping suddenly, Baldwin. I have got only a few years to live, but I will live those days. As I have lived the rest of my life, I shall go to my grave clean, goes to the window and looks out. The rain stopped. Listen. ଯେତେବେଳେ से फैमिली मेंबर माने तांको ब्लेम କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଥିଲେ जे बापा कौन पाई जाउछंती एक्चुअली अंडर द जुरिस्डिक्शन ऑफ द कोर्ट बापा को कौन से प्रकार क्राइम करिसेंती नले बापा पाई को कोर्ट रे कौन पाई ग्रेसम तो सहित से गले कोर्ट को सेते बेले फैमिली मेंबर ताको ब्लेम करथले निंदा करथले वर्तमान जेते फैमिली मेंबर सुनी गले जे प्रकृति रे ग्रेसम ताको किछि पैसा ऑफर करूथिले एबे फैमिली मेंबर पूछथि माने विभलित होई गेलनी एक्सेप्ट कलनी कौन पे एक्सेप्ट कलनी व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड इट तेणु बाल्डिन को ना किसी दिन आउ बचीबी से क्लीन हार्ट रे जीबी क्लीन एक्चुअली रेपुटेशन रे जीबी जो रेपुटेशन मते कोन करबो सब दिन पे एवरग्रीन रखिबो ये हिज फादर बाल्डिन इट विल बी ए फाइन डे टुमारो John thought. Baldwin asked John, what did grandson offer you? John ତାଙ୍କ ପୁଅଙ୍କର ମନେ ରହିଛି ଜନସନ୍ ତମ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ କଣ ଜନ୍ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କରୁଛି ଗ୍ରେସାମ ତୁମକୁ କଣ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଅଫର କରିଥିଲେ ବାଲ୍ଡିନ୍ $100,000 you what Martha Roberts Baldwin he put it aside for me without anybody knowing it. It's out of his private fortune, he says. It is not the depositor's money Ajit that made any difference. बैंक रे कौन करती poor man जानती basically मैं जानती हूँ it is American man से माने depositor कले deposit कला पर जो माने विशेष करी जो माने चिटर माने अच्छी आमर जब विभिन्न प्रकार सब बैंक रे हेतिला हर लोग मैं जानी थी को किसी दिन पूरे हेतिला विशेष करी सहारा इंडिया को तादरे कि हेतिला शीशो कंपनी मध्ये से बड़ी बात बहुत गुड़े जगह कॉल करते बहुत माने रोजन गवर्नमेंट में खाता में फ्यूचर बैंक सेविंग कर ताको पैसा गुड़े लास्ट करबे नाही बैंक रो जो रोजन डिपार्टमेंटल लोक किबा तांको सहित जो माने इन्वॉल्व होउछंती से मान को द्वारा कोन के टोटली स्नैप्स हो एवं सफरर होंती पुअर तले देखिबो हमें I suppose my eyes must have been shown something I did not tell. He noticed it, he unlocked a drawer and showed me the hundred thousands. John, John, in cash, Berlin, in $1,000 bills. They were genuine. I examined them. Genuinely, and for that he wants you to say, I don't remember. Berlin, just that. 3 words only. I don't remember. John, but you won't. Berlin. Those 3 words would choke me if I tried to speak them. Then seman program for some other man, perhaps it would be easy, but for me, all of my past would rise up and strike me in the face. I would mean to the world that for years I had been living a lie, that I was not an honorable man I thought I was. So, had I taken the bribe, I would have been considered such an evil reputation. Evil reputation that I was not the honorable man I thought I was when John Gresham offered me money. I was angry. Money offered Gresham but when I rejected it and he showed no surprise, then I was pleased. It was a compliment. Don't you think so? तुम्हें कौन प्रकृति को फुलफिलमेंट करे नहीं था तो भाभी न थिला दिस वाज द थिंकिंग सो John slowly rather unexpected compliment means gratitude जोटा हमें ओडिया रे को कृतज्ञ Baldwin a John a compliment which cost you $100,000 प्रकृति से compliment $100,000 you could have get Berlin. A compliment which was worth $100,000. I have never had that much money to spend in my life, John. But if I had, I could not imagine a finer way to spend it. केमिति कोन सेपरी विषय बाबत पर अधिक नथिला fantastic. Listen. John, I suppose so. I think so. Martha, will the depositors lose much? Robert, but depositor माने कोन अधिक किछि लॉस करिवे कि केन तांकर मनी जति किला से टोटली कोन कला ना cheated हे गला and it was misappropriated. So, Baldwin, the depositors will not lose. Yes. Okay. But the paper said, Baldwin, they had to print something, they guessed. I know. Martha, but you never said so far before, Baldwin. I left that for Greensham. It will come out tomorrow. That means the result will come out tomorrow. Who is the culprit behind it. John, why tomorrow? Why did not you say so before? The papers asked you often enough. That means the papers are taking you towards the eviction. Baldwin. Nothing forced me to answer, John. John, that wasn't your real reason, was it that? You knew the papers would keep right on calling your names, your names. You wanted to let Grandson announce it himself because it will be something in his favor. Actually बाल्डिनकर व्यू पॉइंट रहउची आउ जोटा कहि जॉन कोन करचंती ना टिके ताको बापा आगे सेटा को आउथरे कोन करते री इंक्लाइनिंग करिसंती री डिस्कशन करिसंती which is under the consideration and deliberation of certain type of evidential report जे निजे चाहउचंती बाल्डिन जे रॉबर्ट इन्वॉल्व अछंती बोली से निजे स्वीकार करंती इट इज द पर्सनल व्यू ऑफ बाल्डिन से निजे किछि करप्ट काम करिसंती किछि मिस अप्रोप्रिएट करचंती मनी के से निजे कन्फेस करंतु then the world will see who is honest and who is dishonest. If even without the 100,000 John, with the money that Grace some had put away for you, but in case I did not know there was the 100,000 until today. Still then it was set away. Grandson did not tell me. We returned without it. Oh, John, and you made both ends meet. This पैसा पाई जाई था तो तुमको बहुत किछि उपकार लागि था कैन you made both ends meet कौन से हिसाब रे तुमे चली जाउ छ निजर भरण पोषण करू छ Baldwin quite easily. Mr. Marshall is running the reorganization. Mr. Marshall of the Third National. Third National in the sense, Mr. Marshall of the Third National. Third National means the Third National Bank supervising and controlling private banks in America. जो private bank को कौन करछि ना supervising करछि बा control करछि that is होछि कोन के the Third National. Baldwin. Mr. Marshall is running the organization. Mr. Marshall of the Third National. He hasn't the least idea that it's going to turn out so well. The result of all asya boli na kormodya sote ke idea. Listen, students. 128 page. John, they are going to punish Gresham, are not they? They are going to punish Gresham, aren't they? This is also their question. Baldwin, I am afraid so. John, what for? Baldwin, misappropriating the funds of the misappropriating means misutilizing, not in proper way. John, I know that, but what crime has he committed? That's a crime. Yes. But if nobody loses anything by it, it's a crime nevertheless. John, and they aren't going to punish him for it. Baldwin, they can't let him go. John, he is too conspicuous. And John, do you think that's right, Judge? Baldwin, my opinion doesn't matter, John. John, but what do you think? It खाली simple way गोटे sentence लिखा है आते किसी complicated नहीं खाली discussion चलती question answer चलती जने जोड़ा कहूची जने तार answer कहूची. Do you think that's right, Judge? Baldwin, my opinion doesn't matter. My opinion वर्तमान किसी matter नहीं. The matter of the court is sure and certain. John, but what do you think? Well, I think that I am sorry for John Vincent. Very sorry. John, it is nothing but a technical evidence. Nobody loses a cent. It's rather hard on Vincent. Well, then, yes, John. Yeah. Would it be such an awful thing? Rather, if you let him out, awful is one thing. Second is would be terrifying. That is awful. Well, then, I wish I could. Yeah. But I am not the judge. I am not the judge to prejudicate or decide anything else. Yeah. No, well then, but what? Yeah. You are the only witness against him. Against the only witness such a well then, yes. John, she is right that. Well then, you too, John. John, it is going to be if you are the only witness against him, Baldwin, yeah, John, she is right that she is right, Baldwin. You too, John. You too also right. So, John, it is going to be a nasty mess if they put John Gresham in court. Then, which your own son named after him, it's going to be pleasant for me, John Gresham. So, Martha, after, course. Robert, I am not sure I understand what you said before. What did Mr. Gresham want you to do for him? Actually, Gresham, I want for your attention. Well then, get him up tomorrow, Martha. You could do that. Well then, yes, Martha. How? Well then, by answering, I don't remember when they asked me dangerous questions. They told me a dangerous question, but what would be the implication? Martha. Oh. And you do remember, well then, yes, nearly everything. Then no matter what they ask you, don't se babudre kichi matter me. Honesty is the matter. Well then, I can always refresh my memory. You see, I have notes. सबबड़े मो memory refresh कर रखी भी हम मोटा मोटा note कर रखी थी. But without those notes, you won't remember. मान रखी पड़ेगा. Well then, what do you mean, John? John, आज, a matter of fact. As a matter of fact means in reality, you will have to rely on your notes nearly altogether. Won't you? Everybody else does the same thing. John. Then it won't be far from the truth if you say, I don't remember. Martha. I can see that Mr. Gresham is asking so much. You, well then, Martha. Martha, Robert, I am as honorable as you are. That goes without saying, Martha. Martha, it doesn't seem right to me to send an old friend to. Now, don't interrupt me. I am thinking. The day John was Christian when Mr. Wilson stood sponsor for him, how proud we were. And now, and when we came home from the church, you said, do you remember what you said, Robert? Listen to me. Interfere in the sense interfere. Interfere. And a Christian in the sense names. The thing comes to be, actually, it is not easy for you to send your old friend to jail. Some old friend to jail to put us above the temple view kitchen of the and how proud we are. And when we came home from the church, you said, do you remember what you said, Robert? It is one type of analytical question, students. Well, no. What was it? Martha. You said, Martha, may your son always live up to the name which we have given him. Do you remember that? Whether it is remembered? Well, then, yes, John. Only dimly does. What do you mean, John? Martha. It would be sad, very sad, if the name of John Grisham, our son's name, should come to grief to you, Robert. Berlin. Martha, are you telling me to accept the bribe money that John Grisham offered me? That means one type of a interrogation is getting here. That Martha is asking, but that question answer method was something confusing. How these two ଭିତରେ କିଛି ନା କିଛି debate ଆଡକୁ ଯାଉଛି. Of course, not familiar so far as the bribe section is concerned. Madeline, Martha, are you telling me to accept the bribe money that John Grisham offered me? Yeah. Why do you call it bribe money, Father? Madeline, why need it? Why indeed? Grisham had a prettier name for it. He said that he had underpaid me all these years. Underpaid means कौन की जितनी की payment दबा था ताकि कम दबा. So that is underpaid. Less payment. You know, I was getting only 5,000 a year when the crash came. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଭଳି ପ୍ରକାର debacle ଆସିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ at least ଭାବୁଥିଲି କେତେ ନା 5,000 rupees. John, yes. Berlin. He said 100,000 represented the difference between what he had paid me and what I had actually been owed to him. What was the actually rethinking there? Martha. That is no less than true, Robert. You have worked for him for very faithfully. He said that if he had paid me what he should have, I would have put by more than 100,000 by now. If it should have 100,000 rupees. John, that's so, isn't it? Who knows? I never asked him to raise my salary. Salary when he raised it, it was of his own effort. Own effort in the sense, on the basis of one's own view. Well, what do you think of it if you go on the stand tomorrow? If they put John Grisham in jail, what will people say? They will say, I have done my duty here. No more and no less. Will they? Why? What should they say? I don't think so, of course, but other people might say that you had done traitor to your best friends. Your best friend को तमें गुड़े traitor means unfaithful personality विश्वासघातक करे convert करिছে. But then you don't mean that. When they find out that they haven't lost any money, when John Grisham tells them that he will pay back every cent, then they won't want him to go to jail. They will feel sorry for him. I believe that. I hope so, John. And they won't feel too kindly disposed toward the man who helps put him in jail. They will say you went back on an old friend, Robert. John, when you pull out your notes in the courts to be sure of sending him to jail. ଯେତେବେଳେ ତମେ ସବୁ ଗୁଡାକ ନୋଟ ଯାହା ରଖିଛ ପ୍ରୁଫ ରଖିଛ ଏଭିଡେନ୍ସ ରଖିଛ ତାକୁ ସବୁ କରିବ କୋଉଠି ନା କୋର୍ଟରେ and Mr. Grisham